So I think we're there. I think we are where we need to be. The first thing that I did this morning was I realized through consultation with my engine builder that this electric choke system requires a constant 12 volt power lead when the key is on, so that it's constantly being fed power while the car is on. Ooh, that's warm. Oh, we have a we have a leak. We have a leak coming out here. Let's go ahead and put that back on. Didn't realize that was going to happen. I should have looked at that, but that's weird because I only put in 2 gallons. I'm not sure why that would be leaking so quickly. That's strange. Okay, I didn't expect that. I had put 2 gallons in. I know the normal capacity is 3.75 gallons. And I knew I didn't have 3.75, I only have 3, plus I have a larger radiator. So to see coolant coming out of there is surprising with only 2 gallons in the system. So yeah, that's interesting. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna clean all this off because I don't want coolant all over my engine. And clean all that off, I don't want that to be on there. And let me tighten up that screw on that other side. So that was the second thing I was going to tell you I did, was to start adding coolant to the system. I had removed this pipe because until this gets hot enough, the thermostat will stay closed. And when the thermostat closes and you're filling it up with coolant, air gets trapped between the coolant coming up and the thermostat. So you want to use take an opportunity to provide some kind of breathing room for the air to come out of the engine while it's being filled with coolant, which clearly that demonstrates that that works. Although I didn't expect it to come out with 2 gallons of coolant. That's kind of interesting. So, I have 1 more gallon that I have yet to use up here, and I need to go get another gallon, I would guess. That's got coolant fluid in it there. I was about to put in the 3rd gallon. When I noticed that it was coming out of that breather fluid thing. But you can see down in here that there's coolant in there already. So let us, and then there's the lead, the additional lead that I added here. Goes around, comes around here, and goes to that connection point there. So something tells me we are good to go. I have a important person in my life who has been supportive of this situation, who wanted to be present when the engine actually for real fired for the first time for real. So let's pull the engine out so that the exhaust is closer to the outside of the garage. We'll go get her and we will we'll see what we can do. So before we go further, we'll address getting the fan set up. Thinking the easiest thing to do is to have it push air through the radiator rather than pull, just because it'll be on the outside. So we have to wire it up to be a pusher. We don't know which one of these connections is positive and which one's negative. I have a switch up here on my panel that I can turn on and off. I'm going to do constant power. so that it's not switched for the engine, which is going to be over here. Let me get my handy dandy rock and roll bandy. McSandy. There you are. Okay, so we're gonna start with the one that I did, which is the yellow, which is gonna be hot, which is gonna go to our, let's see, we'll use a fuse block connection. I'll bring you over here for now because you don't need to be over there watching that yet. You can watch this way, you can all play along. So we're gonna use a fuse block connection just to give it some more thermal protection. Let's see, yeah, that's fine. Doesn't have to be fancy. It's not gonna be near anything else that's spinning besides the fan. So it will be fine where it is. So we're doing this to give it constant power. Right? Right. Let's go ahead and run it through here just to keep it away from the front of the engine. And then we'll put it up here in that dealio right there. And screwdriver. And screw. Careful. Careful before you lose everything. And you have to go pick it up off the ground. There you go. So now, wait. Oh, yeah. So this then connects to the switch, and the switch is already grounded right here. So all I need to do is connect this to the switch, and then we should have, well, let's turn the power off first, because that's a smart thing. And you know what we always say here, please try to do smart things. Probably should have done a fork connector, would have been easier to take on and off. So we'll take that, and so now we're connected through the switch, through power. Okay, so let's see what happens. Let's see if anything blows up. Oh, there's no fuse in there. Yeah, fuse, gotta have a fuse. I'm gonna say, not 5. 15, 10, let's do 15. All right, so we put the fuse in there, blow ourselves up in the process. Okay, so now that's in. So now we have power. Whoop. Okay, that guy was spinning. Spinning, ready to just burn your fingers off. But I don't know which direction that was. All right, so we're gonna be a little catastrophic potentially. You saw that? All right, so let me hold on to it. Okay, it's blowing the other way. So now we'll turn it off. We'll take the power out of the system. We will switch out. Okay, you stop. Stop. Lord have mercy. Stop. Stop. We'll switch the leads. We'll switch these leads here and see if that makes it go the opposite direction. I'm sure it does. Let us see what we learn. If we learn something interesting about our life and the universe. Main power on. Switch on. No, it's still going in the opposite direction. No matter which way we do it, it's still isn't. Oh, you can't really tell. Okay, it's definitely blowing now. Okay, so let's turn this off, this death wheel. Let's turn that off. Let us turn off main power. And now let's go ahead and mount this to the, well, not really mount it, but put it, set it, and position it in front of the radiator. For that, we are going to utilize a couple of things. We're going to utilize this strapping. It's really just to get it here, just in this general, and we can all play along. Get it in this general area here. It doesn't have to be bolted to the front of the radiator. Okay, I see some screws. 2 screws and 2 nuts, or 2 bolts and 2 nuts. Okay. So we have this, and I think if we just go here, that should be fine, right? Right. Some way, somehow. This makes me very nervous that this thing is plugged into the system, so let us, okay, so black is flat and yellow is sideways. You remember that. You remind me of that in about 10 minutes, that black is flat and yellow is sideways. And now we're going to sort this out with this strapping stuff. So I think if we just did something like that, that'll be fine. Now I certainly hope that this works on this material. Let's see, let's try to cut the corner off. That didn't really cut the corner off. Oh yeah, it did it. Okay, let's hope that there's no bare feet out here anytime soon. So we're going to take this and let us do some measurements. And let's see, make sure we're not dripping any more oil. No more drips, no more drips. Okay, good. Okay, so if we have, let's put you on the ground where you belong. Right there where you belong. And let me take you and put you over here like this. And bring you down here a little bit. Ooh, hello, 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 how are you? Hello, welcome. We can all play. Whoop. Good? So here, good, okay. Hi, how you doing? Okay, so let's take some measurements on where we think this guy can go. And if he goes just kind of like that, the key is we're going to go from corner to corner. Oh, hey, stop that. From corner to corner. So we put them in the middle-ish. Thereabouts. They're about. Put them in the middle. And then just measure from here to here. That's 6. And this is 6-ish. Now let's see if we have holes that are around that distance. Excuse me, pardon me. Excuse me, pardon me. This looks like something that could really cut your hand. I don't even need those. Let's see if we have holes 6 inches apart. Could we be so lucky? Could we be so lucky? We are. Woo! So these are on 1 inch on center. Oh, look at that. Almost like we had any idea what we were doing. Okay, so we need 2 straps 6 inches apart to bolt there, there, and then the thing that's sitting behind me. So now let's see if we can actually cut this for real. 6 inches apart is that hole. And if we cut this in between, we won't have to do more than 2 cuts. One can hope. And let's see what happens. Let's see if I cut my hand off rather than cutting this material. That'll be fun. Because why wouldn't I want to go to the hospital instead of starting the engine? Oh, look, that was actually not so hard, difficult. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 holes. I guess that's right, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why? Because you start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You go in 6 inches away from the first one, so you need 1 at 0 and 1 at 7. Look at that. Man, I'm worried now because today's starting out perfect. It really concerns me because I don't understand why that's working out so well. Let me go ahead and cut this crazy sharp edge off. We'll use this trash can that I was using to address any catastrophic leak from the radiator, which was actually pressure tested already before delivery. Oh, okay, okay. Causing problems already. See, you know, I try to be nice. I try to do something nice. Let's turn it around. And it gets all mushed. I don't know why, but it just does. These are probably just gardening shears and not tin snips. That's probably why. That could be a reason. Okay, so that's, there you go. Perfection. Exactly like it's supposed to happen. As if I was at the Dearborn assembly plant on Memorial Day weekend, 1965. That was when this car was being finally assembled. We know that because of the video that relates to date coding your car based on the date codes on the parts and pieces of your car. And if you want to see how riveting that particular video is, I'll put the link in the description. That was a very good year. That Memorial Day was probably a great Memorial Day weekend for Ford and their Ford families and their workers and everybody, because they were coming off of not only the most successful first year of production ever in the history of the automotive industry, but they had also, just a month earlier, officially rolled out the GT program, which this car is a GT, or will be soon again when I get it back together. I don't know why it's like so much easier in one direction than the other. I don't understand why. Maybe it's, I don't know. I just feel like I'm gonna cut my finger off. If you find a better way to use garden shears to cut metal, go ahead and comment down below your technique for doing what I'm trying to do in a safe manner rather than the way I'm doing it. I probably should have a proper pair of shears or tin snips or whatever they're actually called. They're probably called tin snips. And it's funny because I'm basically taking 2 sharp corners and just turning it into 1, which is fabulous. Okay, that's all I got. That's all I got for you today. That's all I got. Now, let's not allow these sharp shards of death to end up in the feet of my loved ones. Otherwise, they will never come out here. And although it's fine to have solitude when you're working sometimes, that's fine, it's okay, you can do that. It's not fine to make an environment that is so unsafe to the human body that no one wants to participate in your success and glory. So we shall make sure we are clean and tidy. All right, so we now have two you like that? 2 strips. I know there are 2 bolts that came with this, and those are here. So we know those are the right size. We can use those here and here. Now what we need is we need a connection point between this and the fan itself. This is going to go there. So that hole is about the same size. So I need 2 screws and bolts that are the size of this hole. Let us go look and see if we can find what we are looking for. There we go. Right? Okay, good, fabulous. All right, so we do have bolts and stuff over here. This looks right, this looks good. I think that'll fit. It does. Now we just need an appropriately matched nut, which I have too. Now, the other longer one's probably be better for the fan, because I think they're going to need some more clearance on that side. So we have two of these guys, right? 2 of them. Where are you? There you are. Hello. Hello. 2. 1, 2. And we have our 2 strips. Oh. We have our 2 strips. And we have our camera. So now let's go this way. Let's go over this way. I know, I don't have any wrenches with me. I don't have any sockets with me. I know, I understand and feel your pain. I get it. I totally get it. But that's gonna be okay. We're gonna be all right. No one's gonna get hurt. No Muppets were harmed in the making of this episode. I guarantee it. Okay, so now we have bolt number 1. Let's see if we can move you over here so you can play along. There we go. So we have bolt number 1 over here in this general direction. We have bolt number 2 over here in this general direction. Now I know what you're saying. Man, there's such an easier way to do that. I agree with you. And I didn't do it that way. And I'll tell you why I didn't do it that way. Is because I'm more interested in getting the engine started and running than I am actually for real mounting this electric fan on the other side of the radiator, even though I had the whole plan for it. I just want to do this first. Just let me have this one win today, and then we will circle back to the permanently mounting if we choose to go with electric fan on this car. I still have not made that decision. You know what the whole mission statement is, which is original where it ought to be and modern where it needs to be. So an electric fan does not really violate that mission statement, but it also doesn't really honor it visually. So now when it comes to judging, there's not any concern with regards to judging whether you have an electric fan or not, because if you're in a modified class, you're in a modified class, and it's all about what? What do we say? It's all about what? Cleanliness and presentation. Please remember that if you are doing anything except for concourse in most all official shows, you are never going to get dinged for non-original parts. It's all about cleanliness and presentation. So unless you are attempting to present a true concourse build, reproduction parts or otherwise, you don't have to really be that concerned about people turning their nose up their nose up at your fan situation. There are positives and negatives to both. The mechanical fan on the front of the engine versus the electrical. The the largest negative, unproven negative, is that there is parasitic power loss because the engine is now operating as well as turning a fan at the same time. Certainly there may be 1, 2, 3% parasitic loss, maybe. But again, on an engine that has 225 horsepower, that's going to be 6 to 7 to 8 horsepower less. And it's really going to be more psychological. All right, so now we have that guy on there. Hello? Wait, no, what? Oh, that's lovely. This is low on power. I sure hope you can hear me. That's just... Okay, so what were we doing with these wires again? If I remember correctly, we were doing... Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. There you go. We were doing flat black, yellow on the side. Flat black, yellow on the side. Now we'll do another test. We'll do another test. Main power on, fan on. Working. Working perfectly. I can feel it pushing air through. Fabulous. Now, the one thing that I wanted to do and to address before we go full Comanche over here is we got this situation. We got a ground, then fuel, and then hot wire. We don't want that. So let's fix that. Okay, so I think everything that we can possibly do before launching, we can do. Let us move you over here, somewhat safe distance away from the engine. There we go. You are a safe distance. You're what we call minimum safe distance from carnage. I'll put you up here. And let's see. Oh, yeah, that'll be fine. That'll looks good. All right, so I need to solve the situation with the microphone. So I have to hold this because my other camera microphone is dead. So because this thing is dead and charging, I have to use the other one, which requires this guy in order to be able to receive, which means it has to be handheld. So I think we're good to go at this point. I think that we can put on the Terminator on my extremely oversized dealio. I can't tell what's what because I have to hold the mic as well as... Well, I guess it really doesn't matter, right? Does it matter? We good? Just pushes in on there. Doesn't really matter. It's all the same. This Edelbrock is coming off and going to get replaced by one of our patented 21F stickers at some point. And I'm not going to try to cinch this all the way down. That's just goofy. So that'll at least keep the air going. And I think we're ready to go. Let's see. The fan will work, right? Flip the switch. Flip the switch. Fan is working. I can feel it blowing through the radiator. We have no leaks. We have no leaks. Let's move all foreign objects away from the machine of death. And yeah. So here we go. This is going to be what I hope it's going to be. By the way, today happens to be March 26th. Not coincidentally, March 26th, 2022, 2 years ago today, was the day that we bought this car. And, no, sorry. March 26th of 2022 was the day, yeah, sorry, the day that we bought the car and brought it home. And since then, we have been loving this wonderful bundle of joy ever since. So I'm going to retrieve my wonderful wife to hold this camera while I deal with this monstrosity over here, and then she can hold the camera. She won't be on camera because she's holding the camera. She's behind the camera. And yeah, so I'll be right back. All right, folks. It is March 26th, 2024. 2 years exactly to the day from the purchase of the vehicle. To my left, to your right. And this engine now has fluid, electrical connections, battery, an exhaust, and an overeager owner. So let us first hit main power. Let us go to the on position. Gauges are switched to on. Fan. Fan is running. And let's see what happens. Ooh. She wants to go. So there's your problem.
That's completely disconnected.
And completely disconnected. Okay, so we now got to put that back on and fix that, which we can do in a jiffy. Hey, 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 watch it. I got to get my wrench and my pieces parts. Sorry, coming back over. That's a problem. That's what you call an open header. Oh my God, if that thing started with that like that, your ears would explode.
Oh, they were already kind of exploded. Killing my camera.
Okay, take 42. Come on now. You can do it. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. So take 42, possibly correct. Everything's correct, maybe. Who knows? Don't know for sure. The other problem is I can't find the radiator cap, so we can't run it too long because you have to, that system has to be pressurized and I don't have a radiator cap, but I think it will start now. The challenge was that we had a wire going from the starter solenoid to the coil, and it was explained to me that that is typically only for points, and in a system with a modern Pertronix coil, the Pertronix coil needs power and 12 volts all the time. All of the time, all of the time. So the suggestion was, and the recommendation was, that the yellow wire that I had connected over here to the starter solenoid to the coil actually should go to the power on 12 volt always connection to the ignition starter switch, which it is currently now connected to. We double tested all the fittings, we double tested all the settings, and one will hope that this is actually going to take place and it's going to fire more than a half a second. Main power on. That's interesting. Why would that be going that way for... Okay, that's weird, but okay. All right, let's see what happens. Here we go. Okay, so now nothing's happening. And what's interesting is that the gauges are moving when I go to the accessory position. So I wonder if it needs an additional wire from the starter solenoid. Okay, everything's plugged in, right? Everything's plugged in. All of that's working. All of that's working. It looks like no spark at all. So I wonder if it needs a wire from the solenoid and the positive. Well, that was anticlimactic. So we will see what we can find out next. After 35 false starts and a belt that just hates me, we've got the engine started. The thermostat is opened. The cooling system is working. We've got the idle dialed in. Hopefully the battery is charging from the alternator. We got fuel pressure at 9.5 to 10. Here we're running at 190 degrees currently. About 40 pounds of oil pressure. Gauges look fine. Water is flowing good. Radiator fans working good. I don't know if it's a belt or an alignment issue. It's difficult to say for sure. But she's alive. She's a little raucous. I think the final exhaust system will be longer. Obviously, there'll be tailpipes on here. There's no tailpipes on it now, so it's a lot louder than it needs to be. But she's alive. She's alive and kicking. Just been a long, hard road to get to this point. Yeah, it just makes that noise. Two years later, we have a functioning, working, operating, testable, runnable engine. Cooling system's working, electrical system's working, exhaust system is, thank God that's working. Otherwise, we'd have police over here now. So, we now know that we can run the engine on a regular basis just to make sure that it's continuing to have all the fluids properly flowing, that the exhaust can get broken in and get settled in its new home. The next thing will be that we're going to change the oil sometime in the next month or so to take out all the oil out of the engine and put fresh oil in the engine for its next duty cycles. I have to get a radiator cap for sure. Whew. Oh, well, on a cool night, you could certainly just stand by the engine and keep warm. Yeah, Kim here from Parts Unknown, 2-year anniversary of the car being purchased. The engine has officially started for the first time here in Florida after 63,000 combinations of wires and wiring diagrams. Pertronics required a little bit of finagling and customization, and we are good to go. Thank you very much for all your support. Like and subscribe if you're interested in continuing to see these kinds of videos. So it's on to the next adventure. It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!